What's up, everybody? Anthony here, specialtymotorcars.net, and this is the final day of October. And I have to say I failed miserably at my Brometoberfest because I got one Brougham ready and sold. I have two in the chambers ready to launch, and two more I am working on currently. So I will start off this video by saying I am sorry that I failed you, but that means I still have four more Broughams coming up. Anyways, enough about the Broughams. In the meantime, I have this one done and ready to go. This is a 2004 Mercury Grand Marquis. This is a GS, but it's a special edition because you can see the two-tone, you can see the hood ornament, you'll see a whole bunch of other little differences there. Very excited to have this car. It's a very unique car, 38,000 mile example. And do a full walk around, show you this car in depth all the way around, drive it, bring it back to the shop, put it in the air, show you the bottom of it, tell you all the details right here in this video. Let's get going. And here she is, a beautiful, vibrant white over a gold ash two-tone 2004 Mercury Grand Marquis. This is a GS, so technically the entry-level Grand Marquis, but it has a special GS color package, they call it. But it was a special edition package for the Mercury Grand Marquis. You can see the two-tone, but there's also a few other things on this car that are very unique to the color package. And that is stuff like the door handles. You'll notice the door handles are monotone colored to the body of the car instead of the typical chrome and black plastic handles. You'll see those Mercury emblems. We'll get closer up in a few minutes. On the seat pillars, stand-up hood ornament. Then once we get into the interior, there's actually some really cool things with the interior. So this was a special edition offered, I think, for 2 years. I want to say 04, 05. And all the cars are two-toned. You could have got them in that kind of sprucey green color, white, I've seen. But you don't see many of these things. They upgraded with leather. You know, typically the GSs have cloth, so it's got some cool features. I do have the original window sticker for this car. It doesn't really go into much detail, but you know, being a Grand Marquis connoisseur, I would say I can tell you, and obviously visually tell you the differences, you know, when it comes to one of these cars. So this is a factory two-tone car, white over the gold ash. And then I did one upgrade to it. I put these LS style chrome wheels on. Typically you see these on the Palm Beach editions or the LS Ultimates. They were an option over the standard alloy, which was a twin to the wheel but just not chrome plated. They really dressed this car up. When I got this car in, it had the base steel wheels with the painted hubcaps, and if it had the chrome caps like the last Grand Marquis that I sold, I would have left those. But this car just screamed, I need a little bit more bling to it. So we did, in fact, do that and bling it out. You can see that Grand Marquis or Mercury hood ornament. You know, it's kind of redundant having a Mercury emblem on the grille and then one on the hood ornament, but I think it's super cool because these did not come with hood ornaments. And it's like a legit metal spring-loaded hood ornament. Super cool, just really cool. The only thing cooler that this car could be is if it had a cloth top on it. But you know me and my cloth top. So this is a really unique piece. I'm gonna go around, show you a few little minor chips and dings. I got my pointer finger here. Nothing too crazy on this car. It's a 38,000 mile car. It just went through a $3,000 service. Ball joints, tires, brakes, shocks, struts, intake manifold. I'll go into all that in a little bit. So this is a turnkey, ready to go Mercury Grand Marquis special edition. Chances are this might be the first and last time you see one of these on my channel, just because I've never had one before. I've seen them, but I've never had one. So without further ado, let's get into it. We'll start over here on this driver's side fender. You can see beautiful white paint. It's called Vibrant White, and it is very vibrant. I do say so myself. A little bit of a chip or a scratch going on right there on the front of the fender. You can see these beautiful chrome wheels. wrapped in brand new white wall tires. These are factory Mercury wheels, and I just think they are a very attractive wheel for these cars. Again, the only other one that I can remember in recent time that had one of these chrome wheels is about maybe, I don't know, 8 months ago. Had an 03 LS Ultimate that was just loaded from California, and that had these wheels on it. Beautiful paint on the roof. A little bit of a scuff right here on the door mirror cap. And down the side here, pretty nice shape all the way throughout. This is an Ohio car, but I don't think it was really driven much in the winter because it is in real nice shape below as well, and I'll show you that in a little bit. You can see a little bit of scarring on the edge of the door molding here, and one, two chips on the door edge, and there's another one up here. You can see the door handles here. This is what I mean by monotone. They're the same color of the car. Where typically from 92 all the way up to 11, this would have been chrome, and then this would have been a black handle. I think the only other Panther that had the painted handles was the Mercury Marauder. So it's pretty cool to see that on these Grand Marquis. A little bit of a chrome wheel lip molding. Again, another 225 60 16 white wall. This one has a little bit of a scar right here on the edge of the wheel, but otherwise nice clean wheels in all the pockets. I bought these wheels actually used from a local guy who was a Grand Marquis enthusiast, and I saw his car. He had a Park Lane that he took these off to put Mustang wheels on, so I was very happy to buy them off of him and put them on this car. Mercury emblems right here on the sail panels. Rear glass is in great shape. And down the quarter here, got a bit of a scar right here on the edge of the bumper. See, something just caught it there. But overall, rear bumper's in pretty good shape. A couple little minor, light abrasions, nothing too crazy. You can see a couple little light marks right there. The light guy right there, and right there. Grand Marquis GS. The chrome, the lights, the lenses are all in great shape. Maybe a little bit of a guy right there. A few little minor scuffs there. And right here on the bumper. Paint on the deck lid is in nice shape. There's the rear glass. And you can see vibrantly, you can see the Mercury emblems here. Man, I got bombarded with bird poop. I don't know what pterodactyl type bird hit me with orange poo, but I wiped other spots off the roof. I missed one. You can see a little bit of a bump here in the rear glass molding. See that there? Another very nice 225 60/16 Maxxis white wall, and again, in those pockets are all in nice shape. Though I think this wheel, right here, you can see some scarring right on the lip there. Nothing too crazy. You don't really notice it until you get up on it, and you can see they got a beautiful shine to it, so nicely that they portray right onto the parking lot. Imagine what this thing looks like cruising down the highway with those chrome wheels spinning. Door edges here, all in nice shape. And I love these monotone handles. I want to say there was, right here, a little chip on the door edge. This looks like, just a spot there I missed. A little bit of a chip down here. Very little guy right there on the corner of the mirror. Mirror. A little bit of a scuff right there on the chrome. There's a couple little minor little dings there right on that molding. And another beautiful chrome wheel. These wheels really just wake this car up Again, you can see the reflection right here in the on the pavement. I love that. Look at how nice that is. Just the right amount of chrome and bling to this car. Come down here. Now, I know this car was in some type of minor fender bender. It shows back in 2017 a minor accident in the front corner. Although, if I remember correctly, it showed it that it was on that side when it was clearly on this side. And I say clearly because this is an aftermarket replacement headlight and corner light. And you can tell, you know, just by some inconsistencies, like the pinstripe here is a taped on stripe, where this is a painted stripe. It's painted throughout the car. And you can see a little bit, very, very minor white color difference from like the header panel to the hood. So I believe the header panel was painted, could have been replaced, and then the fender here was painted. I do not believe that that was replaced. The other thing that says how minor this was is you can see a little bit of a chip or maybe a stress crack. But I think whatever they bumped into just kind of pushed the header panel in to chip that edge of the hood, because the hood is original paint on this car. It's the original hood. I took the grill off just to confirm it is the original Ford grill. So whatever it was really minor into this front corner. But, you know, in the spirit of transparency, you know how I like to be. A little bit of a chip there, a little scuff there. A couple little minor things in the front bumper. Nothing too crazy. A few little stone chips here and there. I mean, with having stone chips in the front bumper, I don't know if the front bumper was painted too. I would think maybe not, because it hasn't traveled a ton of miles in its life, but these are original Ford. You can see the Mercury emblem there, and I think same on this one here. So corner light, headlight, but the front end of this car really does look great. Couple minor little scuffs down here low, and I think the same as over here. See that there. But overall, this is a very beautiful two-tone special edition Mercury Grand Marquis. All right, now let's jump onto the inside of this car, and then we'll take it for a spin. All right, we're in the shade, out of the sun, and believe it or not, even though today, well, today you're seeing this video technically on the first day of November, it is October 31st, and it is like almost 80 degrees out today. Absolutely beautiful. So we have the air conditioning on, no heat, but AC. All right, show you inside the Jam here. Build date of 01, January of 04. That's seeing the Jam's nice and clean all the way throughout. Now, again, when I show you the bottom of this car was, I want to say some type of, I don't know, wool wax undercoat, but it's also in some of the jams that I've noticed. And in just weird places, like inside the trunk jam, under the hood. None in the door jams here. And I don't see any plugs, so I don't think it was like a Z-Bart where it was shot into the doors. But obviously the car wasn't winter driven. They tried to protect it in the event they planned to winter drive it. Just like a lot of these cars, you know, they plan to drive all year round, but grandma and grandpa don't go out in the bad weather. So it's really not exposed to the elements. It's just a tiny bit of wear kind of on the color here of the switch plates. I know that's on both sides. Power driver's seat. You have your trunk popper here as well. So getting into the interior and showing you some of the unique features of the interior. One of the cool things is the two-tone leather. You have the lighter parchment versus the darker, and then the Mercury emblem embossed into the back seat. You have in the sill plates here these Grand Marquis emblems or markings specific to this design car. I feel like I'm missing something else, but I can't really remember what it was. It might come to me. Anyways, you can see a few little spots of corrosion on the Grand Marquis. This is like supposed to be like an aluminum plate. Power lumbar on the side here. Leather is nice and soft in this car. Typical Grand Marquis leather, you know, wear marks, but no tearing or anything like that. Not dried out leather. Armrests are in great shape. I don't know what it is with the leather in these cars. They don't seem to wear like the town cars. I think this was like a tougher leather, but also wears a little differently. Dashboard's all in great shape. Steering wheel, you have adjustable pedals. Traction control, automatic headlights. We'll get more into that in just a minute. Carpeting is all in nice shape. All right, coming into the back here, you can see that two-tone leather follows through to the back as well, which is really unique. I think unique only to these cars. The only other car that I think may have shared some of these special, you know, badges and like the hood ornaments was the, I believe it was a 30th anniversary edition, which I want to say 05 for the Grand Marquis. Pretty rare, those ones are. You can see inside the jam here. In this jam, let's see a few minor spots where it's just starting to show some rust on that seam. Nothing crazy. And here you can see this undercoating. That is throughout, like, in just weird spots in the car. But that is the only amount of rust that is starting to show on the door seams of these cars. All the gaskets are in really great shape. Seats show really well. Rear package tray. Definitely a garage car. Limited rear seat use, you know, but real nice leather back here. Carpeting. I say limited rear seat use because I'm just look at the back seat. Tells its story. Come around to the passenger side. It's kind of strange how they two-tone. They just looks like they just literally taped off and then must have cleared over everything. I'm sure going down the factory line, two-toning these cars, they probably hated doing it. The car was probably painted all white, and then they had to tape up. You know, this was probably before they hung bumpers on it. They had to tape up these lines, you know, as best they could. But that's how these things were two-toned. And they literally just sprayed it, probably going down the line. Crazy. All the door trim and gaskets here. Nice shape. All the striker bushings are in great shape. Back seats, seat backs are in good shape. Got carpeting back here is very nice. Holders. I don't know why those were off. They were just turned over just a little bit like that. Pop those on. Leather is really nice in this car. It's just weird spots like in that jam. There's a little bit of undercoating. You can see the bolts on the doors, on this door, not touched. All the gasket, nice shape. Grand Marquis. Did have a spot. I don't know what the heck got on the carpet here, but you can see, I don't know if someone stepped in something and it stained into the carpet. But right on this edge, a little bit of like goop there. But overall, the rest of the carpet is very nice. Now, this is a GS, so it has a manual passenger seat. That was standard. That the driver seats were power, but the passenger seats in the GSs were manual. Again, nice, soft leather here. Typical wearing on the edge bolsters of these Grand Marquis. Dash, nice shape. Door panel, beautiful. And just a little bit of wear, just starting on the color plates there. All right, well, let's jump on behind the wheel. Then we'll probably got two keys for, I had to make a second set of keys. I only got one set with this car, but we do have an original Mercury key, aftermarket Ford key, and but two remotes as well. And both of them are chipped keys, so both of them will start the car. Light test. $38,972 miles. I'm gonna say I probably put, I don't know, 200 to 300 miles, maybe a little bit more, maybe 400 miles on this car. You have your power driver's seat, air conditioning. It's the manual temperature, which I actually like better than the automatic, because you don't have to worry about vacuum and blend door issues with these guys. But yeah, we got the AC on today because it is warm out. Original books and pamphlets right here in the little Mercury case. Jack instructions, bumper quality label, vehicle equipped with bumper systems that can withstand frontal barrier, 5 mile per hour bumpers. Yeah, Grand Marquis, Jack instructions. And then this is pretty cool that this has the original window sticker, because it gives us a little bit of insight. Grand Marquis, this is a GS 4-door sedan, vibrant white, clear coat. Doesn't say the lower color, but it is ash, gold ash. All season white sidewall tires with standard. Power, traction, yeah, Watts link rear suspension, blah, 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 floor mats. Over here, doesn't have a ton for options. Conventional spare tire, $120. The GS color package, $1,300. Two-tone, which includes two-tone leather seats in the GS package and two-tone paint. They gave you a GS color package discount of $305, so the sticker out the door was just under $27,000 on this car when it was new. Sold new at Northgate Lincoln Mercury in Cincinnati, Ohio. This car lived, I believe it was a one family-owned car out of Hamilton, Ohio, its entire life. And it just came out of that estate. For service work, I have one of my slips here. Some of the work isn't on this slip, but this is through an independent shop right up the street from my shop. And they did quite a bit of work to this car. Remove and replace front struts, sway bar links, lower ball joints, upper control arms with the ball joints, alignment, mount and balance tires. Remove and replace leaking intake manifold. Reassembled, probably new thermostat, yep, oil change. So yeah, they did front sway bar links, they did a serpentine belt, both upper control arms with new ball joints, both lower ball joints. It only really needed one lower one, had a little bit of play, but I had them do both. Front strut and spring assemblies, synthetic blend motor oil, a new intake manifold that was just starting to weep around the thermostat housing. 50/50 gold coolant, yep, engine oil filter. Then they cleaned the mass airflow sensor. I guess it was debris in the box. Alignment, we're good there. So that was just under $2,700. And then after that, I drove the car a little bit more. They told me that the rear brakes looked suspect, so I said, well, do what you have to do. I'll drive the car again and get a feel for it. And then I said, you know what, yeah, I want to do the rear shocks as well. So I ended up doing the rear shocks at my shop. While I was there, I also did the rear brakes. So tires, brakes, rear shocks weren't added to that list. Oh, and replaced the wiper blades. Under here, you can see nice and clean and tidy. Now going back to some of that undercoating, like you can see on the inside of this fender here, this kind of like hardened, I don't know. You can see it's a Ford fender. It's got the Ford emblem. So I do believe this is the original fender. So whatever tapped this had to be a very, very light tap and not totally destroy this fender. Must have just bumped into something. Like I said, you can see a little bit of scarring right here. But I don't know what this undercoating is. It's there. I'll show you. It's in some spots in the trunk. But oddly, like, it's not on this fender. I don't know. I don't understand the rhyme or reason to how they did this, because it's in some of the door jambs, but it's not in all the door jambs. I don't know. Whoever paid for the undercoating on this car got taken for a ride. Battery is 12 of 23. You can see that new belt spinning around. New intake manifold. It was leaking just right in there. Typical spot for them to start leaking on these Grand Marquis. All new coolant, new struts. Coolant is nice and topped off. Come around here, the fluids are nice and topped off. Come to the trunk. Let's pop that real quick. Boop. All right, inside the trunk, you can see the very spacious, typical large Grand Marquis trunk floor. Very deep, tons of bodies. I know all the jokes. We do have all 4 original floor mats here. The 2 rears, 1 inside the tire, 2 fronts with the hold down here. A little bit of light staining there, nothing too crazy. This is a new spare, though. I did take it out, and apparently I should have wiped it off because it got dirty on my floor. I took it out because the jack and everything, I didn't think the jack was there, and then it was like wedged behind it, so I pulled the tire out just to free that up. But you can see nice and clean inside here. Going back to that undercoating, coming in the jam here, like see up in here? I mean, this stuff, oh, okay. If you wipe it, it stays there. If you nail it, it comes off. That's a little strange. I don't know. It's not from the factory. It's definitely not from the factory. If you look here inside this jam, it's like they wiped it on in some spots, I want to say. Like, they took maybe a rag and just like, and then it got like dirty from time, because like this doesn't come off. You can see the key code or keyless entry tag there. But anyways, that's that. I noticed that was a little strange. All inside the jam here is nice, tidy. Gasket is good all the way around. All right, let's take her for a spin. All right, let's start her up, get that air conditioning back on, and we're gonna take this one for a drive. Now this car drives so nice. New tires, new struts in the front, new rear shocks. All that stuff just makes the drive, oh, I forgot my reflection check, makes the drive on these things just like brand new again. Nice and tight, just, you know, feeling like it's supposed to feel, really. That's the only way I can describe that. So we did do extensive work to this car. It is turnkey, ready to go. 2 keys, all the books, window sticker, floor mats, cold air, hot. Oh, and yeah, it's also got kind of a weird radio. The disc CD changer with the single disc. I don't know, it's strange. Usually, I'm trying to think back. You know what? Maybe because that other Grand Marquis, I had that 03 LS Ultimate, and that kind of had a fancier radio, but that was an LS Ultimate, so maybe that's what's throwing me off. The weird thing, though, with that LS, if you remember back, that was an 03 I sold to my buddy Eric Peterson. Shout out to him. I think that's his like 5th or 6th car he's bought from me. That car had the clock here, and I remember saying like the differences between job 1 and job 2, and I think that was a job 1 car, and later they went with the Grand Marquis here, or maybe it was because this radio has the clock. I'm not sure. I need you Grand Marquis Panther platform gurus to bleep bloop down in the comments below and tell me, was this standard after 03 job 1 cars? That Grand Marquis, you know, badging there? I'm not sure if I remember that. But yeah, she drives real nice. And like I said, it's just about to click. Well, it's kind of a little sunny here. Just about to click 39,000 miles. We got 38,972. You can see that 8 is getting ready to roll over. Not too far out from now. All right, here we go. Let's get to that highway. I just took this for a ride down the highway to go get that second key made, and night and day difference from what it was like before. The tires on the car were old tires, and you can feel that. Like, you know, I sometimes wonder, oh look at that reflection check. I sometimes wonder how people can really drive on old tires and not notice like the shittier ride that the car gives, and you know, worn out suspension. But I understand usually when stuff wears out over time with like the same driver driving it, they don't notice it. It's not like an overnight change where I get into this car and I got my antennas up on, you know, what's wrong with this thing, what do I got to fix. So you're already looking for that kind of stuff. But like sometimes you get into someone's car with like a bad wheel bearing and it thing is just humming like crazy, and you say to yourself, do you not hear that? Like how do you miss that? And it just, again, it gradually comes over time, and that's the same with worn out tires and, you know, suspension components. Just time, you know, it happens gradually. All right, let's see if we can set. We have cruise control set and holding 70 miles an hour. I mean, smooth as glass going down the highway. Shut that off. She just glides, and it just feels so good with these new tires, with the new brakes, new suspension. Gives you a like new car driving feel, even though this car is 20 years old. That's a classic in someone's eyes. Anyways, my name is Anthony. I appreciate everybody for watching. We're gonna head back to the shop, put this up on the lift, and we'll clue you in on what the bottom of this car looks like. All right, bottom side of the Grand Marquis. You can see here, pretty decent under here. Looks like we do have some type of undercoating on this car, probably from when it was new, again being an Ohio car. I'm sure this car was expected to live a rough, salty life, but I don't think it really did. New rear air, not air shocks, regular shocks. New rear pads and rotors. See, just minimal corrosion on some of these parts here, but overall pretty nice. Stray leaf, but all the floors are undercoated as well. Let me zoom out here a little bit for you, but not rusty. I got new upper and lower ball joints on this one. Front stabilizer links, front struts, both sides, on alignment. 4 new tires, fresh oil change as well. Any questions, give me a call, 978-930-1004. Appreciate you watching. And there it is. Not too bad for an Ohio car, if I do say so myself. I love these northern cars. I've said it before in a lot of my videos. These northern cars that really aren't driven out in the bad weather, because it's just, the northern cooler climates preserve these cars differently. The leather, the vinyl, the gaskets, all that stuff, and the doors. It ages them differently when they're down south and they're in the heat and humidity. Again, I've said it many times before. This one is no exception. So there you have it. 978-930-1004. If you have any questions, don't let distance stop you from getting a dream car like this in your driveway. Can help you get it shipped right to your front door. Price on this one is going to be $13,995. Any questions, give me a call, 978-930-1004. You can go over to my website, specialtymotorcars.net, and check out all the still pictures of this car. And until the next time I talk to you, I appreciate everybody for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.